4-season property, right? Like, do you have insulation for the winter? You must have fire insurance, or you can't get a mortgage. So if you're too far away from any firefighting services or hydrants or whatever, and you can't get fire insurance, then you can't get a mortgage. So
I just want to add in there too. So you're right. So with the fire insurance, a lot of rural homes have either a wood stove or a wood fireplace. These things have to be cleaned, inspected, certified, the chimneys and stuff. So all of this has to be done before insurance can be obtained. And if they don't get the insurance, then obviously they don't get the mortgage as well.
Yeah, I mean, I would certainly look for a bit of a longer condition of financing because there's a lot of things that have to be done. I mean, if these are all already taken care of, then fine. Like, that's why it's with a pre-approval, as I tell all my clients, like, sure, we've looked at all your job letters and documents and so forth, so you're pre-approved. You don't have to worry about you being approved, but the property, the lender can say,
That's right.
we're not interested.
Yeah.
Especially like when you're dealing with a rural property, like usually if it's a if it's an A lender, even if it's a conventional mortgage, they're usually going to buy bulk insurance from CMHC or one of the mortgage insurers anyways. So they'll usually do most A deals, unless there's like something seriously wrong. Like, you can still have an appraisal come back much below price, but and that's the other thing. Like, an appraisal in the country could take a lot longer because there might be one appraiser that's doing a massive region, and he's not going to go way out of his way to go do this one property. And if he does, he's going to charge us a fortune for it, because time is money, right? So if he's driving way out of his way to do it, and plus if it's a bigger property, it can take longer to do the appraisal, things like that.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it's just buying a rural property can be a much more complicated issue when you're getting insurance, or sorry, when you're getting a mortgage. Often, I might have to go to like the local credit union because they specialize in that area, because they're located there. But if there's not a lot of competition, then I wouldn't expect to get great rates.
Actually, I find the same. I recommend the same for insurance as well. Often, if it's a rural property, I'm saying to my client, I'll find it from the seller. If it's my buyer that's doing it, I'll say, who are you using for insurance? Because I need to contact them, because they already know the property. Lastly, what about down payments? Are we still looking at 5 to 7% if if your credit is comparable to what you would buy in the city?
Well, as long as it's below the threshold. So if it's below $1 million, then it's insurable. Then you can usually get CMHC insurance on it. And as I said, like, lenders usually prefer to do a deal if it's insured, because then they're protected in the event that you don't make your payments. If they have to sell the property and it's hard to sell, they do their due diligence to get the best price they can if it goes power of sale. But they'll just take the best offer, right? So but yeah, certainly, especially if it's a slow real estate market, it can take longer to sell a rural property than it can, like, properties in the city. They can go very fast.
It can be.
Yeah.
And for those looking, just so they know, I've owned rural properties and sold them, and I own them now. And I love rural properties. I love the lifestyle. There's just a lot more to look for. We just want to keep you informed. This is Sharon Loduca, working hard to bring you home.
Thanks, Sharon. Rick Honeyford.
Thanks, Rick.